Live from the USA. Broadcasting around the world. You're listening to the podcast show, You've Been Warned, with Jake and Josh. We talk about what we want to talk about. If you're easily offended, please don't email us.
I'd be like, hit you with the left sleeve like you're gonna steal.
Yeah, there we go. If I pull my right sleeve up like this, if I give you the old good tug right there, then it sounded weird. But if I give you that one, then you know that I'm going on a rant, baby.
I mean, we're just talking about wife and dog. Now we're talking about give me a tug, Jesus.
So you see it, guys. This is the after hours show. You're going to be getting the laid back, the raw, the uncut versions of J Stacks and myself, Drop Tech. So, guys, I appreciate everybody who's tuning in. If you're brand new to the channel, this is going to be a podcast where myself, Drop Tech, and my buddy J Stacks. This is going to be our after hours place where we can come to, we can speak unfiltered, share our thoughts, and get a chance to kind of catch up and bullshit about everything that's going on in the world. So, if you haven't already, hit that follow button. If you're not committed yet, no worries. Hang out, have a good time with us. I think you're gonna have a good time. Go and type in chat. Let us know if everything's sounding okay, looking okay. We are live on Twitch and YouTube, so you guys can share it on your social medias for us. Get some of your buddies in here. I think it'd be a fun time. Share it up. So I think there are a couple specifics on the agenda. Keep in mind, guys, this show is completely off the cuff. It is unscripted. However, we do come up with talking points, right? So what were some of the things we're going to be going over today, Jake?
Well, I mean, first of all, I didn't even want to go over this, but you started talking about it last episode, and then somebody co-signed on it in the chat, so now I'm forced to talk about ghosts, which I don't really want to, but I mean, I'm going to, because I just want to hear some interesting stories about any type of experiences you've had, for starters. And then I think so I'm just laying it out for them, and then I think we'll probably talk about we got to talk about the COVID-19 for sure. I mean, because it's still going on. I feel like every part of these episodes leading out of this thing, we're just going to touch base on it. So, and I really want to talk about the mask situation. I don't know how it is in Virginia, but most states, definitely here in Maryland, I can't leave without wearing the mask in a store. So I want to talk about that with you. Yeah. And then,
what's kind of fun, real quick. I don't know. Would you want to go into that, or no? Go ahead. What's the last one?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Then I kind of want to talk about stupid headlines, stupid news. You know what I mean?
So I don't think you can ever go wrong with stupid news.
So that's kind of that's my mindset right now. But I think we need to get right into the whole ghost thing.
Well, so I would like to start this conversation by reminding everybody.
Sorry, sounds bad.
That no. This is. I would like to remind everybody that on last episode, Jake mentions, yeah, actually that'd be cool. I even have a lot of cool ghost stories I could talk about. And then on this episode, he's trying to be all nah, bro, I don't even want to talk about this shit. He just doesn't want to get scared. That's all it is. Look, it's a little dark in that room over there. He's gonna get the oogie boogies.
I was reading a ghost story earlier. I was reading a ghost story earlier today to prepare myself mentally for this. And so it was in the middle of the day, there's light literally shining in the room here, and I was reading one story and I was so freaked out I couldn't read the rest of them. You know what I mean? But I don't believe in this shit, but I still got creeped out a little bit. Now we know the truth, guys.
I don't know that I believe in it because I don't
And see, like, I don't even want, I feel like it's like what we were saying last week. I feel like it's like Beetlejuice. I don't want to say, like, I don't believe in ghosts. And then when I go upstairs tonight, some ghost that's just hanging out, it's like, oh, okay. You don't believe in me? I'm going to come haunt you right now.
Straight punk.
Yeah, so, like, that's why I'm like, I don't want to say that, but that's kind of how I feel, right? Because I've never had the experience. So like I'm actually thrilled. I'm thrilled to know that you're nervous that a ghost is going to push you down the stairs, and that's the real reason. Yeah, that you don't want to hash out the ghost. That's exactly right. That's exactly how I feel.
I guess we need to lay. We need to lay a little bit of a foundation to be able to have a conversation on right here, right? So, like, I could go in and I could just tell some ghost stories, but then that's just me just telling a ghost story, and I feel like that's not as fun as it could be. So, what I have in mind right now is, do you or do you not believe in spirits?
Man, that's a good question. I don't think I do.
So,
well, and I guess it means
fair.
I think that means like I think you have to define like what spirit means, because I mean I think it's got some different meanings, you know. So what? So that's where I feel like we need to lay down a couple fundamentals, right? Like, right. So I think that anybody's belief in ghosts is going to lean on whatever their religious values are, because that, however they feel about spirituality in their religion, typically influences whether or not somebody believes that there could be a spiritual presence at all, that it could even ever exist. So I'm really torn with the whole idea of whether or not ghosts or spirits exist. I just believe that there's so much shit that we don't know and can't prove that it's possible that it could exist, and we just can't see that part of the world, or we don't know how to interpret it, or haven't discovered it right, or whatever. Like, I'm just not ruling it out, I guess. Yeah, so, but you're going to notice that's the common theme. Right, yeah, no, I definitely think you're open-minded, you know, about a lot of stuff, which is cool, you know what I mean? I think that's a good quality. And I'm not saying that I'm not, but I'm a little more gray in the tooth, you know? So I'm like, like, I've been through some shit, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not, like, some stuff I'm like, yeah, that's not right. You know what I mean? So have you ever had an experience with anything, like some weird unexplainable shit happening to you? No. I mean, not consciously that I know of. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, like, I've never been, like, I've never felt like I've seen anything, you know, like definitive, like a ghost walking down the hall or something like that. And I've never had like any, like, you know, stuff moving around or doors slamming. So, like, for me, it's hard to wrap my head around that's a possibility. Now, I'm not saying that I don't 100% believe it. That's what I'm not saying 100%. Fair. I'm just saying, like, I there's no proof for me, basically. Like, if I saw a ghost, I really have wanted to go so bad. Like, every Halloween comes around, they have this, it's like one of the most haunted places in, like, all the United States. And I think it's like this penitentiary. And it's not far. I think it's like 3 hours up north. So, like, PA or something like that it's in. They say it's super, super haunted. And every year I want to go. Like, you can go. I think that would actually be, like, super fun. Yeah, like, you can go for overnight. Like, they have a couple different packages. So I was like, man, that would be kind of cool, you know? And, but, you know, my wife, she's nothing scary at all. Like, she don't watch scary movies. If we're, like, at a carnival, she doesn't, like, she won't go through, like, a haunted house or something like that. So, like, it's definitely going to be hard for me to go up to the penitentiary. You know what I mean? Dude, I think that would be one of those things that I would want to do, and I would get so hyped to do it, and then I would dread every waking second leading up to doing it until it's over. Really?
Is probably exactly how that experience would go for me. I think it would cause so much anxiety leading up to it.
Because why? Because are you scared?
Well, it's not so. This is where I get lost. This is where I get lost in my own head, right? so that was a very discreet yes, not discreet yes, I guess.
Not discreet. This is great.
That was a long yes.
He what had happened was,
yeah. So this is what's terrifying about it to me is I feel like it's not super terrifying about what might happen with a ghost. I think the idea of being confronted to face the fact that it is real because you see it happen in like an undisputable way.
Yeah.
To me, that's terrifying because it would force you to believe that other things are potentially real. Because like if you believe in like ghosts and spirits, then there's also that deep, darker rabbit hole of like demons and all that crazy shit that comes with that. So it's kind of like, well, if one exists, what's to say that the other one couldn't? And that whole idea, that's what gets terrifying. And that's where the anxiety would come from, is that's this shit I'd be thinking about. Like, I don't think if it was super crazy where they could just come out and murder us, then I think that we would have already found hardcore evidence of that shit. But the fact that it hasn't, like, I feel like if they do exist, I feel like there's no reason for me to believe that they could be harmful. It's just that they could be present. So I'm not necessarily scared of seeing one or meeting one. I'm scared of, well, if I could fucking see little Johnny that fucking stayed at home because
little Johnny,
then I don't want to meet fucking Billy the Badass who's fucking here to fuck shit up. So
you mean the guy that's here? You mean the guy that's here to murder you, right?
That one, yeah. I want to make sure I never meet that one. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. So there's so many different things too, right? Because there's like nice ghosts that just want to hang out. This is what they say. And then there's like people who have died terrible deaths, and they're like scary as shit. They like just haunt you forever. So like it's like, I don't know, man. It's kind of deep, you know.
It's a terrifying prospect.
I like to say that I wouldn't be scared because I've been wanting to go up there and do something like this. I'm not. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely have some reservations, you know, but I still want to do it because like I want to see it. My friend told me one time. We were staying. This is when I was a little younger, and we were staying. I had an apartment at the time. I'm living in Laurel, Maryland, and my best friend at the time, he needs a place to stay, and the apartment I have is like 2-bedroom and a den, so like we got this extra, you know, place where he can stay. So we're in the same apartment, and he tells me that one night, so it's kind of a crazy story about how this happened. So when we put the deposit down for the apartment, the one that we were supposed to get wasn't available.
Ooh.
Then this lady dies who's lived there for like 20 years. She dies, and they give us her, like, so she's dead, and they're like, fuck it, we're gonna give these guys her apartment. She died.
They're like, oh yeah, fuck it, she kicked the bucket. Do you want to go? You want to go chill over there?
But they didn't tell us that like right away, which obviously I feel like there's something wrong with that. You know, not letting us know. Now I had never had any issues. I had no issues there ever, and he used to tell me, and I don't think he was fucking with me. He was being for real. He used to tell me that he would wake up in the middle of the night and there would be some old lady standing over him, blowing cold breath on him. And I'm like, what? Like, I mean, like, I've lived here with you for a year. I've never ever heard that. I think it's because I don't sleep. I think that's why. Because when you go to sleep, that I feel like that's when the ghosts are like, all right, fuck it. That's when he's the weakest.
Yeah, that's when the Goonies come out.
You know, that's when he's the weakest. So we're gonna attack him then. And then they're like, this fucking guy don't sleep.
So I've only had two things happen in my life, and they were both when I was younger. So now that I'm older, I question the credibility of the memory. But like there was this one time I was at my dad's house and he was not home. It was just me. Like he had run to the store or some shit. I don't remember. And it was late at night and I was laying on the couch watching TV and I heard this just really loud boom in the room next to me. And there was like this big picture that was on the wall. I remember being in there. And so in my brain, I was like, oh, I bet that just fell down. And I was scared to go in the other room and turn on the light because it was just kind of creepy whenever you're a little kid and that happens. But I go up there and or around the corner and I turn on the light and the painting is still there. And so I'm like creeped out about it. And so it just really puts me on edge. And so I'm like, I'm just trying to focus on just watching TV and not get wrapped up in that, because the more you think about it, the scarier you get. And then so if you imagine like a living room with the hallway at the end of it, like I'm laying on the couch up against this back wall and that wall goes and eventually leads into the hallway. So like laying on the couch, I can just lean up and look straight down the end of the living room down into the hallway. And I never see anything, but as I'm laying there watching TV, I just hear the sound of like somebody walking on carpet and their feet just barely dragging.
What?
And I just heard that ruffle on the carpet, and it scared me so fucking bad that I got the phone numbers that my dad had left for like emergency contacts, and I called every single one of them until I found somebody who could get a hold of my dad, because that was when I was 8. So like he didn't have a cell phone or any of that extra shit going on when I was 8. So
wow.
Yeah, so that was like that was the most wild, most vivid one, because I still remember the loud boom, and then I still remember the sound of somebody like walking or something. And there was like no pets, there's no nothing. I was the only one in the house. Like it wasn't like somebody else could have been there pranking me. Like it was nothing. Like literally, I was the only one there. So that was yeah, that one fucked with me for a little bit. And then
so was that the first one?
Yeah, that was the first like weird, like unexplainable thing that happened to me. And then like the other one, I was probably 10, 11, 12. I was in that. I remember playing video games and skateboarding a lot. And I lived in this house in South Jackson. If anybody who's tuning in from the shares on Facebook who knows me from back home in Tennessee, there's a house on 45 South. It was just this old white house, like old as fuck. Like it had like wood siding, like how like you would normally have like vinyl siding, but it was actually wood. Like it was an old ass house, creepy basement, the whole 9 yards. And we lived there for years and years, and nothing weird ever started happening to me. Like I never saw anything creepy, never had any reason to be scared or think that anything was haunted. And then one night I had this tell you another part of how old it was. Like I had a gas heater that was mounted to the wall. That was the heater. There was no like central heating and air or anything like that. So there's one air conditioner, one heater in the living room, and one heater in my bedroom and my mom's room. And so like I'm laying with my back turned towards where the heater is, and it's gas, so it like lights up my room. And so I roll over, and when I roll over, I feel like I see somebody there. So like I wake myself up,
right?
Like I'm rubbing my eyes, and when I like try to get done to where I can see, the fucking heater's off. So it's like I roll over thinking that I'm seeing somebody, but then the heater's off. So it's like could have been dreaming, could have been doing some weird shit. But then later on, I just kept having weird dreams of like little kids. It was never the same kid. It was never this weird, like creepy, oh, he's haunting me, he's after me. But then I just started having dreams of there being kids around my house that didn't exist. I didn't have neighbors like that. It wasn't anything like that. So the first one was way more gut wrenching for me as a child than the second one, but it just got weird. And so that combined with a bunch of stories that other people have, it makes me believe shit's possible.
So, but that's only, so you had two of those experiences when you were young, and one of them you were asleep basically. So you're not like totally sure. So those
100%.
So based off of those two things, you're saying like there definitely is 100% ghosts.
That's one way to interpret what I said. I think there's 100% the possibility.
He said that's one way. He said that's one way to interpret it. I mean, I'm just I'm trying to figure it out. You know, like I just want to know, like, you know, because then like I'm thinking, well, if you're like me and you never had any experiences, how would you still be like, there's a possibility there's a ghost?
I don't know. I mean, if you think about like what is consciousness and how much do we actually understand about consciousness and that state of understanding that we observe the world in, there's so much that we don't even understand about our own living bodies. So how is it insanely far-fetched to think that it's possible that there's a bunch of unknown shit that we just haven't discovered about what happens to our consciousness past death? And if there is the other side of life.
Wow.
So that could go to a crazy place. But like, you know what? It's kind of crazy to think about is like, what would like coronavirus, like COVID-19 hauntings sound like? Like, would it still be like that creepy heavy breathing, but it's because they're wearing a mask?
Is this your segue?
You like that? I was trying to get there, baby.
I don't like it at all. I dislike it. I thought I still wanted to go further into this ghost thing. And you're trying to do this.
You keep probing. Keep probing.
You're trying to do this. You're trying to do this very
clever.
Yeah, it was a very uncomfortable segue. It definitely was very uncomfortable. For me, at least.
Nah.
No, the reason why I'm asking is because I think that I'm going to be down there. I'm going to be down in Virginia Beach for like 3 weeks in October. So I think that while I'm there, we should find something that's like haunted,
like a haunted tour thing
in that area, because I guarantee you they probably have something there or something close by, like between Richmond and Virginia Beach. And then we should go.
That would be fantastic.
Because then I have the one, you know, it's like we're on the 1 week, and then and then the next week we're off. So that week in between when we're off, we should find a date to do that. You know what I mean?
I'm just running through I'm imagining the list of things that you might say if you see a ghost face to face.
Really? You can imagine.
Like, I'm wondering how many cuss words are gonna just machine gun right out.
I'll be like, "Look, motherfucker." Oh, I said I wasn't gonna say that word. My apologies.
Oh, got him. See, all it took was to get him shook on the ghost. Casper done came out and took out the.
I mean, but it wouldn't be like in a scared way. It'd be like in a, you know, like an authoritative way. You know what I mean? I'd be like, all right, you can go now.
Yeah, you're gonna definitely stop him in his tracks.
Yeah, that's what I don't know, man.
Look here, mister. You go haunt somewhere else. We don't have none of that haunting shit around here. Exactly.
I mean, you gotta tell him who's boss. You know what I mean? Friggin' little Timmy. You know what I mean? Little Timmy's trying to. Yeah, he's trying to get crazy with me. So we should definitely do that. But I wanted to talk before we get on about this other thing that you're trying to do. Have you ever seen the movie Amityville Horror? The new one. They have the newer one, right?
Yeah.
With Ryan Reynolds. Anyways, I've seen them both. So I saw the original, and then I saw this remake, and I'll tell you, that both of them scared the fuck out of me. Like,
they're terrifying.
I could watch scary movies and not be scared at all, but that particular movie scared the shit out of me.
Mess you up. It'll mess you up, bro. Because
it was real creepy. And so the thing is that place is in New York somewhere. That place is in New York because when I was up in New York staying with my buddy Fingers, he had mentioned that place is like 45 minutes from his house. And like I was with our buddy Sean at the time. I wanted to go, but we ended up not going. Like I just wanted to go to the house. even though the movie scared the shit out of me, I wanted to go to the house and check it out. But the people that live there now, they swear up and they've like come out in public and said that the house is not haunted. So like, you know, it was based off a true story. Like somebody was like crazy. I forget the story because I haven't seen the movie in a while. But like,
well, see, I mean that's another thing though. Like, well. That means, to me, in my mind, that means that it could have been haunted back in the day, and it could maybe no longer be haunted. Like we as humans don't live forever, so why do we assume that a spirit or a ghost would live on forever? Like maybe there's a shelf life on how long a spirit could linger around in existence before it dissipates or is forced on or whatever. So like maybe the fucking place was haunted back in the day, and it's the spirits of past or some shit.
Yeah, because it's the guy.
We'll never know.
So, I mean, we're not going to know. But, like, this is over. So, like, you saw two things. This is over the course of, like, many, many years. That everybody, no matter who you are, like, if you went into that house or you bought that house, like, you were scared shitless. So, like, that's a whole different other thing than just having it, like, happen to you twice. Every single person. So, apparently, the guy that was there, he killed his mom, father, and 4 of their children in the home. Like, it was so gruesome. So, like, and then he haunts the place now. Like, can you fucking imagine? Can you imagine that?
I mean, I don't know how somebody could have that kind of energy to do that and then stick around and then, like, haunt the place.
The dude killed all those people, and then that's not enough. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay around for a little while and I'm gonna haunt all these
I kind of like it here.
Yeah, I'm gonna haunt all these fuckers for the next 50 years. You know, like, who does that?
Well, so, you know, like I've the only other weird-ish kind of things that I've had happen are like not like sightings or anything like that. It's more like thinking that you hear things. Like, do you ever feel like you hear somebody call your name?
No. I never feel like I hear somebody call my name. I'll tell you, I was in a house. All right, so listen. I had this house.
Okay.
I had this house. This is what I'm talking about me never having this experience. I had this house that was built during the Civil War. This was a few years back before I got married. Huge house in Elkridge. It's like 7,500 square feet. It's a Victorian, like, I mean, it was really a beautiful place. But that's where the troops used to stay when they were like trying to hold people from getting to the harbor, you know, during the Civil War.
Yeah.
So there's like apparently like all kind of, I guess there was like memorabilia or, you know, stuff like trinkets and stuff that were found around the property. So I lived there with somebody at the time, and that person that I lived with, they swore to me up and down that when I wasn't there and I was at work, that she could hear people walking in the house and people making noise. And she told me multiple times, but I never, not once, ever experienced that at all. So that's why I'm like, I'm in the same place that's getting haunted, and I'm not getting haunted. You know what I mean?
So I do believe that there has, I don't know how much proof, but there's enough out there that I have come to believe that there are like electromagnetic fields that can impact people having those type of experiences. Like they can raise anxiety in your body so much to the point to where you could either imagine it or something happens like because like there's so much electricity in our body and in our brain and shit, like maybe somehow this electromagnetic field like has a ability to influence, you know, what you are seeing, like your senses. It manipulates your sensor or some shit. Like, I don't know, like, but it's proven that places that like a lot of older buildings that people claim to be haunted just had very, very, very terrible electrical shit ran through it to where you were just so overwhelmed in an electromagnetic field that's what makes people hallucinate or something. And it's also proven that people have different thresholds for like just like how you can have a different, oh my god, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of right now, I'm struggling. Tolerance. You can have a different tolerance level to it. So maybe the reason that you've never experienced it where somebody else has could have been that they were more susceptible to this electromagnetic field, and that aided them in having that experience, and you weren't impacted by it. So you never suffered from it.
But okay, so my question is that if that's the case, right? Then are you saying that people that are more susceptible to something like that happening to them, like in some kind of way, are like weak-minded because you're susceptible to it? Like I'm thinking of it like if you were the type of person that could be hypnotized. Like I can't. So, but if you're the kind of person that can, not you personally, just saying you in the general sense.
Yeah.
Like, does that mean that you're just like a little bit weak-minded? I don't know. Like, it's a weird. Like, it just seems weird to me.
Well, I don't know if it has anything to do with because like I don't know. I would say like if I think somebody's weak-minded, I think it's because of something that they have under their control. Right.
And by the way, like, I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying.
No, yeah, I didn't think that.
I'm just like bringing it up, like, because it's got to be some type of.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that people. I'm not trying to say people are stupid. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I'm not. I'm not.
No, you saw a ghost, you big dum-dum.
I should change that. There are some people that are stupid. But I'm not generalizing people that believe in this as to be stupid. But I just feel like if you can be.
Yeah.
Like
well, I do think that the vast majority. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, somebody snaps their hands and you're like, and now you're asleep, like, immediately, and you're like walking around barking like a dog, and you have no idea. You have no idea that you're doing that.
How I feel
that's how I feel. Like, that's how I feel about, like, you know, what we're talking about.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I definitely think there are people who are more susceptible to believing imaginative thoughts, just like how people have selective hearing. I do believe that people have like projective memories, like where they can project something into a scenario that never happened, but then they remember it happening that way. So it's like they believe it's real. So it's like, I don't know. I think the mind's fucking weird. It's a mysterious thing.
All right, man. I'm gonna stop with the ghost now, because we're just not. I can't. I'm still not convinced. So I think we should just. We're gonna do the thing.
No, yeah, I think that's.
We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the thing in October. Well, I'm gonna plan it.
Yes.
And this way,
I think that would actually be fantastic. That way, I don't have to have any responsibility.
What does that mean?
You said you would plan it.
I mean, it's not that hard. I'm just gonna find out what day you want to do it. You're gonna take off, and then I'm gonna call and get some information. It's not rocket science.
I don't care what kind of science it is. I didn't want to have to do it.
Holy shit. Oh my god. All right, let's talk about You so eagerly earlier wanted to talk about the corona mask. Well, not the coronavirus.
Dude, I think it bugs me. Like the masks bug me. It triggers me. I hate them. I hate everything about them. So to see stuff coming out that is suggestive of masks not being a necessity, I feel like it more so enforces the skepticism I had of the agenda of the G unit.
So my question is, before I get into the mask part, do you personally know anybody that has contracted the coronavirus? No.
Nope, not one.
Yeah, I
can even confidently say that I don't know anybody. Like, nobody has told me that they know anybody.
Yeah.
So obviously that's not hardcore verification on everybody that I know, but with the way that we're all connected, if somebody knew something, like, there would be waves caused, and I would see it on one of the millions of social media posts that I see.
I mean, it's so strange because, like, last week when we talked about it, I'm like, yeah, I mean, seriously, stay the fuck home. You know, like, 100% do what the hell, you need to do so that nobody gets this. And then, like, I start doing a little bit more further research, and now I'm thinking to myself that I don't know really if what we're doing is the right thing. But what's even more scary about the situation is that we are 100%, it's a fact that we have been misled, through the government and through the media, like 100%.
Yeah, and that is, so there's a couple of talking points. Like, the thing that is infuriating and insanely confusing to me and makes me question, like, why people believe what they believe is the fact that it is proven that the death counts are inflated, that they were taking people who did not die of the coronavirus,
right,
and counting it as a coronavirus death.
I mean, how
to
shitty
inflate
is that?
The numbers of panic.
It's so shitty. Like, there's people.
It baffles me.
But this is what I mean. This is how shitty people are. There's a virus that hits us, and somebody's like, "Fuck it." You know what? There's a way we can make money on this. You know what I mean? So let's fucking do it. And I'm thinking to myself, this must be the worst of the worst people in the world that would do something like that. I don't know. Now I'm towards I'm more back in the middle now. Like, I don't know. I'm at a place where I really don't know what to believe. So you have to wear a mask, pretty much, like 5 days a week, right?
Yeah. And it is incredibly hot. It is incredibly uncomfortable. I feel like it makes me touch my face way more times than I ever would not wearing the mask. And I see it having the exact same impact on my employees. And it's infuriating because not only is it goes beyond it being just an annoyance, and it really irritates me on the fundamental, like on a core level, that we literally are being forced to do something that could potentially be actually harming us just because somebody's agenda is getting pushed forward.
Yeah.
And that's infuriating to no end.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I definitely completely feel the same way. Like, I definitely get it. I'm in a place now where I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know what the right thing is. So they have scientists that are saying, look, there's no need to wear a mask at all.
Yeah.
You can't contract it through the air. That's what they're saying. Because they're saying it's not like Ebola, it's not an airborne virus, and then the media and the government are saying, like, oh yeah, you definitely can get it this way, so you should wear a mask or stay at home. So, like, I mean, Jesus, how further apart can we get?
Though they have the very unique ability of taking something that could have a 1 in 20 chance of happening and they take that one and they say, not only is it possible, but it's gonna happen if you don't do this. And it's just, it blows me away, bro.
Well, your favorite guy, Matthew McConaughey, was in the news just recently talking about this. All right. Yeah, so we have a couple clips from what he was saying. So let's just take a look at that and tell me what you think, all right?
Matthew McConaughey, the founder of the Just Keep Living Foundation. What made you and your wife do this? What's driving you here?
I could feel that this united purpose we all have as Americans to beat this enemy and this virus, that purpose got hijacked a bit by partisan politics. All of a sudden, the narrative became, well, if you want to go to work, you must be on the far right. And if you want to stay at home, you must be on the far left. That created a false divide. That is not true. We're not going to beat this virus the way that we can if we're fighting each other. We don't have room for two wars right now. If we try to fight both of those wars, we're going to lose both of them. But if we try to fight the one against the virus, which is the one we should be fighting, then we're going to beat it. Now even the mask wearing is getting politicized, where if you want to wear a mask, you wear a mask, you're a liberal, and if you don't, you're a conservative. We are waiting for science to catch up with us. The mask is about letting science catch up. If you are going to re-engage right now, please wear a mask. A mask is a very good tool for that. And I have not heard any science that says it's not. So I don't even understand how there's a real argument. I haven't heard any science that says that is not a good idea. People still think, it's a bit of a retreat, or I want to express my freedoms or my independence. And I think they're just looking at it the wrong way. It should be a badge of honor right now about us uniting. Everyone do it. I'm protecting you. You protect me. This is not about politics. It's about us.
So, I mean, obviously he's like way on the other side, right? Like he's
very, very far.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and I have to say that this is probably the majority of how like the celebrities feel, like Hollywood, that area. I feel like this is probably collectively mostly how they all feel out there. Would you say that that's such a good statement?
I agree with that. I would say that that's probably what most people would say about their stance on it.
Like how strange
I don't know, man.
How strange is it that Hollywood in general, like that particular area,
yes,
when anything happens, they have like their own, like this is definitely 100% how it is. It's away from everybody else in society sometimes. It's you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. They have the same impact that the news has on a lot of Americans. Like people who follow and they believe and they have that faith in that actor, their opinions, or whoever the celebrity is. It has the same impact that people who religiously watch the news and just think that everything they see on the news is a fact. Like they have the ability to have an opinion that sways so many people's opinion because they'll never challenge it. They'll never do any digging on their own. They'll never look to fact check. They'll never do any of that.
Right.
And so it's weird, and it's kind of weird to see that Matthew McConaughey is doing interviews about it. Like he has a foundation that he's doing something with. I kind of want to look it up and see what else he actually has going on with that foundation, because I'm wondering like what the purpose of him interviewing on the news about it even is. Like, is he just pushing the message of like just shut up and wear the mask?
I mean,
is that his whole purpose of being interviewed on the news?
Yeah, I mean, I basically feel like that he just sides with what the government's saying. Like, I feel like all of them collectively side with, well, this is what the government says, so this is what we're gonna say as well. And I find it strange sometimes because, like, I mean, obviously he's a pretty well-known person, but he's not an authority by any stretch of the imagination. He's not authority on the subject.
The foundation that he runs is geared towards like empowering like high school students, like after school programs and stuff like that, like right. Just character building and helping shape them into young adults. And so it's, I don't know, part of me just makes me feel like it's a limelight thing, knowing that you can stay relevant if you stay in front of people kind of thing. But I don't know. The masks are crazy, man. Like I'm forced to wear them at work. It's mandated that all my employees are wearing the mask. Like I even have a health check I have to do every single day.
Wow.
And I have to validate that every single employee that's working has done the health check. We've updated the employee app for us to have the ability to do it right there on the app, or they have to do like a paper copy. So it's super official, like all the steps that we're having to take with it. We're doing appointments where customers can come into the store and they can have one-on-one consultations with my sales reps. And it's optional. It's recommended that they wear a face mask, but it is optional.
Oh, it is optional at the place of business.
Yep. For me in Virginia,
wow,
in Chesapeake, it is optional. And then you have my wife got called today actually, and was informed that she is going to be going back to work because she had previously been furloughed, and so that's exciting. And they're walking through through the protocols, and obviously they're mandating all the employees wear a mask as well. But they have a hard restriction on if you're not wearing a mask. They can tell you to not come in the store. Like the company held like a conference call to basically pep talk all the store managers to give them permission to think in the mindset of employee safety first, and if customers are not abiding by the safety regulations of wearing a mask and not keeping 6 feet apart, then just kick them out of the store.
Wow.
And it made me feel really good about the company, because it's that's kind of putting your money where your mouth is. Like, hey, I'm willing to lose $1 to ensure the safety of my employees.
Wow.
And I think anybody that's business minded would agree that, you know, if you take care of your employees, you're simultaneously taking care of your business. So like it's the smart play as well as it's just the right thing to do. And it's interesting to see how companies have responded so differently to it, because then you have like the Walmarts and Targets and all this stuff where everybody's just still in there willy-nilly. Like it just feels like if there was a place for things to go array, that is exactly where it would be.
Well, I mean,
and then you have people taking these contents back to their family. Like,
yeah, I mean I got yelled at a Walmart recently. So like in Virginia Beach, they're lax down here. Up here, they're like, fuck no, man. Like I'll tell you, I was in the Walmart, and I was in the like the short little checkout line. And I had just, you know, like I'm getting in line like normal, but I have my mask on, of course, because here in Maryland, you have to have one if you go out of the house. So I just getting ready to go up in the line, and the lady behind the register yells at me because I'm so close to the customer who's in front of me. I mean, she was probably like 70, and she scolded me like I was a 15-year-old. You got to stand behind the line. So I'm like, holy shit. You know, like what? Like what the hell is going on right now? Like that's how I felt. So then I get up.
Did you tell her off like you would have told the ghosts? Did you put it at her? Look here, motherfucker. No, you can go on over there.
Initially,
hold the line over there.
Initially, that is what crossed my mind. I'll be honest. Even though she was 70, like the first thought was like, I'm gonna just shred this lady in about 2 seconds. Like that's what my initial thought was. But eventually, when I got up, you know, the guy left, I moved back, and then once he left, I came up to the register, and I said to the lady, like, man, I don't think I've been scolded like that since I was like, you know, like 10. And she was like, well, you know, there's laws. You have to stand 6 feet apart from the customer in line. And I'm law. Yeah, that's what she said to me, law. But then I said to her, but you and I are like 12 inches away from each other right now.
Yeah.
Like you and I are 12 inches away from each other. I just got yelled at for being less than 6 feet away from this guy. But like if I speak wrong, I probably could hit you in the face with. I could spit on you accidentally. Yeah, I could spit on you accidentally. That's how close I am to you. But I just got yelled at, so I'm like, man, that's hardcore. And I know that and maybe it's just by area, but I was out. There was another time I was out, and there was a hurricane warning here, and I just happened to get to Walmart. I'm by myself, by the way. I just happened to get to Walmart before like the sky opens up and just everything goes to shit. And I'm going down the aisles, you know, I'm trying to look for, you know, like a couple things, you know, some food or whatever. And all of a sudden there's some guy yelling at me. They come over in the intercom and he's like, "You got to go to the center of the store, sir. Every customer has to go to the center of the store right now." And I was like,
holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, but this time I wasn't so nice. Because I told the guy, I said, you're looking at me, I'm a grown adult. I don't have to listen to what the hell you're saying right now. And I'm going to continue to shop. And he was like, "No, you got to go." And I'm like, "Okay, if you want me to go to the center of the store, then you come over here and then you make me go to the center of the store." That's what I said. That's how upset I was. That this guy tried to tell me that I had to go to, like, I felt like they were going to be like, "Okay, now you got to, let's get under the table because there's a hurricane warning. Let's, everybody in the doorways." I'm like, what the hell is going on at Walmart? Like, I get the safety part, but man, you can't tell, like, if you're a man, you can't tell another man, like, "All right, you got to go get the fuck over there." You know what I mean? You just can't do that.
I wonder if they train them to be that assertive on that, or if it's supposed to be hey, we're recommending everybody gathers in the middle of the store. Like, I wonder what their actual protocol is.
I mean, they would have had to have some type of training class, right? I would imagine all these big corporations, like you got to have, just like sexual harassment, you know, every place you go, you got to watch like a video or sign a form or something. You know, like,
oh, well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I've had hurricane training on everything. I can't tell you what the fuck I'm supposed to do if a random
you've had hurricane training.
100%. We have a fucking hurricane kit in the stores. Like when I was at Best Buy, it's there's all kinds of shit that you would use. And when I was the GM at Buckle, we had like a hurricane readiness kit, and it was like this giant treasure kit that was like this big plastic tub almost. It's like the size of your desk almost, like just a little bit shorter, but that same width and length. And it had like tarps and like ropes and sandbags and all kinds of extra shit in there. And but I still couldn't tell you like verbatim exactly what the policy would be when customers were in the store and that was happening. Like, I would legitimately just go to the fucking handbook, the SOP, and look it up right then and just do it.
Yeah, because when you're initially doing that part, you're thinking to yourself, "There's no fucking way we're having a hurricane," so your brain automatically just shuts off.
Yep.
You're like, "I don't need to listen to this shit right now." But then these people up here, they probably fucking read the book on their way to work because they are strict. I mean, and the thing is like, you know, you could say, "Hey man, like, you know, you're supposed to get to the middle of the store because everybody's got to get there. So that, you know, if you want to start heading over there," I'll be like, "All right, that's cool." But he's like, "You now go." I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you can't be like, you can't, Walmart, you cannot be like that. You know what I mean? It just can't happen. I don't know, man. I don't know how we got on to talking about freaking Walmart. And we were talking about the mask thing, but
well, yeah, it's just the different protocols at all the different companies and how everyone's doing it differently. And then we got into the side quest there, but I don't know, man. The mask thing, I think, is obnoxious. I think it is being highly overhyped. I think it is being, it's putting a massive strain on the medical field that is not necessary. Like, right. You have people who need to be wearing masks because they're doing surgeries and actually around other airborne infectious things like viruses and stuff. And I think it's a shame that it can be politicized to the point to where people who need the tools to do their job can't have them because of an agenda. And it's terrifying to me because it's like, where is the line actually in that stand and what they're willing to do to influence society? I feel like they just proved how much brain manipulation power they truly have through this whole thing. It's like a giant exercise.
Really, a giant exercise where we all lose shit tons of money. The market goes to shit. Like what kind of fucking cruel joke is that?
Well, I mean, hell, it makes sense to me.
I don't know, man. I just, it's fucked up. The whole thing, especially to be in this, like we're in this time. I'm like, man, I've never seen nothing like it. Nothing.
It is kind of interesting that this is the first time that I don't know anybody who knows anything about what to do. Like normally, like I've got a deep enough network of knowledgeable people that I can lean on somebody to get some guidance. And the best that anybody could do is make their best guess or help you understand their point of view on it. But nobody has experience. Because
both sides sound right. Like when you hear it, yeah. Like both sides sound, so like when they're like, oh yeah, you can't go outside, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Don't go outside, you're gonna die. I'm listening and I'm like, fuck man. We're not going outside because I'm not ready to die. You know what I mean? But then on the other hand, yeah, when the lady's like a molecular biologist and she's saying, well, emphatically 100% you can't catch this shit this way. If you have a mask on and you already have it, you'll be breathing it back into the mask, which will then be brought back into your system, which would cause you to not heal. I'm like, well, that sounds fucking true too.
Dude, they talk about how whenever you are constantly wearing the mask, that you can basically be overloaded with carbon dioxide. Like it can create an imbalance to the point to where you're breathing in so much carbon dioxide that you're not getting enough actual oxygen into your lungs and into your body. And then if you do that for a long enough period of time, it literally lowers the oxygen levels in your blood, which weakens your immune system, which means that you're a terrible place now for any type of disease, period. Yeah. So like literally it weakens you. Like they have literally done tests on people wearing the mask for as short periods of time as little as an hour, and it already impacts the body.
Wow.
But yet it's mandated for you to wear to wear a mask in order for you to leave the house right now. But it's like nobody's standing up and fighting for the other side of that. Like it's not about like, I don't want to do what you say. It's not that we don't want any one person to be in charge. Like that's not the angle of my frustration. Right. My frustration is like, why do we have people that have absolute facts? They're presenting them as absolute facts with scientific, proof in the scientists, like what you were talking about. But then we have the people with power who are making decisions that don't align with the facts.
Yeah, I get it. I'm with you. Oh, God. All right, man, let's move on. Well, let's do this. Let's hear it. Let's take a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back. How about that?
If you've been dreaming of having the best food for you and your family, now's your chance. Introducing East Coast Prime. Whether you're craving our double colossal red Alaskan crab legs, our black African lobster tail, or our Wagyu beef, you'll fall in love with our food from the moment you taste it. Mouth-watering burgers, prime center-cut filet, wild-caught salmon, prime-cut New York strip and ribeye. We also have chicken, lamb, and pork. At East Coast Prime, we only sell the best of the best products, and we sell it for less than our competition. The best part is, we'll bring it to you. Free delivery right to your door, or you can order from our website and we'll ship it to you. We have packages for everyone, and if we don't, we'll make you a custom package to fit your needs. Isn't it time that your family eats like kings and queens? Call us at 570-903-4095 or check us out on the web at eastcoast-prime.com.
That shit is so pretty, bro.
Well, yeah. Well, now because you said that, now I have to brag.
I was holding it up there for you, and I was hoping that you would snatch it and fly away with.
No, because you said it was so pretty, now I have to brag. I made that for him, so that's Timmy Tanana. And if you're like in this area, or he's actually from Scranton, which is about 3 hours from me, but he goes all around. So if you are definitely, he's got like the best products out there. Like I know we've had him, and he was just down here the other day, and he brought some stuff down, like the crab legs. I've never seen nothing like it. I know you're allergic, but man, like the steaks and stuff, and it's like the very best stuff. So definitely check him out. But it's funny because I had to he's been doing this for a while, of course, but he didn't have I guess whoever had his original logo, like, you know, the guy's gone or whatever, they can't get what they need, you know. So he reached out and said, yeah, fuck it, I'll make it, you know. And it looks so good. So I just had to say that.
Definitely a win.
And like when I say I made it, I didn't mean I made it personally, but I would like to take full credit for the way that it looks right now.
Shared responsibility, 100% credit.
Oh God! All right, look. So look, I want to talk about. All right, look. We'll just show you what's coming next. Please, God.
Just when you thought shit couldn't get any dumber in the world, it's time for Stupid News. Stupid News.
Oh man!
I heard the please God. Was that cross your fingers? Hope it works. Hope it works.
How funny is that?
It's pretty good, man. That's what some good old episode 2 looks like.
How funny is that? Please, God.
Hey man, eventually we'll have producers that will manage, you know, whether or not the transition into the commercial functions properly. But for now we're just gonna make some shit work in between. We're gonna poke and hope and you know, cross the fingers and pray every time we try to do something.
Oh my God. I'm like, man, we spent 10 hours on it on Tuesday and then all day today, and I'm like, oh Jesus, nothing that we did worked.
Whoopsie daisies.
Anyways, all right, so I'm gonna pray again, but I want to show you this. First of all, this is stupid news, and you obviously this part is not scripted. So it's kind of funny because you were talking about it earlier, but last week our buddy Sean was in the chat. And so he texted me afterwards, and like and then we get on the phone because I haven't talked to him, like, I don't know, maybe in a couple weeks or something like that. So like we get on the phone, it was about something totally different. It was about fantasy football, and so then he was like, yeah, I saw your show or whatever, and I was like, man, that's great, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so anyways, he said to me, it was just so weird. He was like, that whole thing is scripted, right? I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
Nah.
I'm like, there's no possible way. And this is proof. There's just no way it's scripted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I was clever enough to script broken commercials into our play for comedic relief.
All right.
I like to think we have enough lulls.
All right, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh with this one. All right, this is some stupid shit.
Hit me with it.
All right, we're gonna pray again that this works. All right, have you seen this? Have you seen this yet?
What the fuck is this? Are these watermelon heads?
This is a real thing. All right, so look, a man wore a watermelon on his head while he was stealing from a convenience store has now been arrested. How fucking stupid is this?
Did they have to log the watermelon in as evidence?
I don't know. I just don't fucking know. But the thing is like, it's like in the article, it says a pair of them went in. So not only did one person think this was a good idea, there was a second person that was like, you know what? Fuck, this is awesome. Get us 2 fucking watermelons, and we're gonna fucking rob this joint. Can you believe that?
Oh, bro, no. Like, I want to know if the idea was, hey, we don't have face masks, so let's make a watermelon mask. That way we can go out in public. Or was it like, yo, I got this idea. Like, they'll never know who we are because we got watermelons on our head.
Wow.
We just take what we want and we leave, bro.
I can't believe that there's people that are. You can't tell me that there's honestly people that are like that. They're like, let's throw some watermelons on our head and let's roll. Like, there's so many other things that you could have used as a mask. You know
what's going to be great is like this own little inside joke that I'm going to share with myself when I hurl this insult at somebody, because I'm straight up going to be gaming and I'm going to call somebody a fucking watermelon head and they're not going to have any idea what I'm talking about.
I just don't understand how 2 people got so stupid. You know what I mean? All right, this one.
Maybe there was vodka in the watermelon. I don't know.
So that's stupid news. Look, this one, you're gonna lose your shit with this one. I can't make this up. Can you tell me what you think this is?
What am I seeing? What am I seeing right now? Is this supposed to be the crowd at a sports event?
Yes.
Like a fake crowd?
Yes.
Look, the ones in the back are just posters. They're just like poster boards.
Oh,
look, the one in the back standing up, like giving the horns, like, yeah.
Dude, it gets way worse.
Bro, look, this one right dead center. What kind of shorts is she wearing, bro?
You're not gonna believe this.
Oh, this is great. This is great.
It gets way worse. Then they used fake
what did
people.
They take
They used fake people. It gets way worse, and they used fake people to fill a stadium so that they could still play this game and to keep it entertaining. Like, this is their thought process. This is a major soccer team, South Korean soccer team. They decided to use sex dolls to fill the stadium. Sex dolls.
That would create interest.
From who is South? First of all, in South Korea, it's illegal. You know what I mean? So this is like a major fuck up. This particular soccer team, I just can't fucking believe it. They end up calling this company, and because they want to have fake fans in the stands, so they use this company called Dolcum, which they're actually manufacturers of sex dolls. And the North Korean team basically came out and said, no, that's not we didn't know that they were going to be sex dolls.
We didn't know.
They called the company that makes sex dolls, and then when they were interviewed about it, they're like, we had no idea that they were going to send sex dolls. Like, we thought they were just going to be regular dolls. Dolls.
This is a very interesting solution to one's problem. You know what's amazing? One dead center I was making fun of. Look at where her mask is. Bitch's mask isn't even on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They ordered sex dolls, dude, to fill the stadium up. And so, anyways, they haven't. Obviously, these people were in a shit ton of trouble.
Was there ever any actual Was it on the air like that, or did they just get caught like trying to do it?
No, it was on air like that. Like this happened. It was on air, but do you know how they figured it out? It's because the sex dolls. So I can't read Korean, obviously, but they have like little hats and tiaras. They have like little hats and like
shocker.
And kitten ears on, and on the ears it says that they're a sex doll. So like
the branding of it.
Yeah, like it's like such and such sex doll. You know, like this is Jamie, your sex doll. Like it said it on the shit that they were wearing. So that's how people figured it out, because it was live on TV. And they were like, is that a sex doll over there?
Yeah, exactly. Imagine being the people who figure that out. Like you're sitting there, you're chilling, you're watching, you know, your team throw down, and you catch a glimpse.
Dude, they were seriously pissed off.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, we definitely can't laugh at them, because Americans are in the news for some redonkulous stuff, like wearing watermelons on your head in public and stealing.
That is pretty dumb. I will say that for sure. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. You got me with that one. How do you get dumber than that?
It's funny because the rest of the thing says, so I didn't even get to that part. So like obviously they had the clothes on that said that they were a sex doll, but the team was saying we didn't know they're sex dolls, and then the company that ordered the sex doll, or that made the sex dolls, they're like, oh man, that's our bad. We forgot to take the tags off. We were supposed to take the tags off before we sent them to you, but somebody dropped the ball. And that's why it says that they're a sex doll on there. So, like, they all knew.
100% they knew.
Then they just were stupid. Anyways. So, look, I want to show you some stupid headlines.
Hit me with them.
Are you down for some stupid headlines?
I like it.
Some of these are old. So like I just want you to read this and tell me what you think. Homicide victims rarely talk to police. I mean, I feel like that is incredibly fitting with how our conversation started, because I mean, like who would have known that you could have potentially had a full-time position as a card reader at the police station, because the homicide victims actually on occasion do talk to you, according to this headline. It's just nuts, dude. This one's the best though. We hate math. Say 4 in 10. A majority of Americans. Like, how fucking stupid do these people have to be? This one's good.
I wonder if it's done as a pun, or like a old school meme.
You think there was just the guy that was in there was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna run this shit anyways, just to be funny?
Hell yeah.
He was like,
look, this is from the outdoors.
Yeah, but I mean,
breathing
it was
oxygen
linked to staying alive.
You know what? I've been wondering why I've been doing that my whole life.
Well, did you know?
No, I know.
Did you know statistics show that teen pregnancy drops off significantly after the age of 25? In case you didn't know, this is back in 1999.
So it's amazing on a few different levels, because not only is it amazing that obviously the person's no longer a teenager, but it's interesting that they picked the age of 25. Because I thought the teens stopped at 19 and then it turned to 20. So like, you're not a teenager, it's not a teen pregnancy if you're 20 years old.
Yeah, I don't know, these guys are assholes. Look, marijuana is
that's amazing.
This one's good.
Back in 1999, good thing they started the war on drugs.
This one's even further back, 96. Marijuana issue sent to a joint committee. Do you get it? Joint committee?
star.
You don't get it. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I definitely get it. That's why I was laughing.
China may be using sea to hide its submarines. In case you didn't know, people could use the sea to hide their submarines. I don't get it, man.
Where else was anybody hiding any of their submarines?
Federal agents raided a gun shop and found weapons. Like, how is this even news? Like, who thought that this was news? Of course there's fucking guns there, you dummy.
I love the comment too. Federal agents raid gun shop. Find weapons.
Find weapons.
Store owner arrested previously.
Dude, this is the Daily Sun. The man kills himself and then runs away. Like, what idiot got this one wrong? Yeah, the guy offed himself, and then I saw him running down the park.
Hey, you know what? This is the one. I could potentially see a kind of maybe if in there, where it's like, maybe what he's trying to say is he faked his death and then he ran and like lived an alternate life. Like he killed off his old identity and he's run away. And it came out as this garbage.
Man, that seems like a stretch.
I'm trying to give him every benefit, bro.
Oh, that's a stretch, bro. A nuclear explosion would be a disaster. I mean, how?
Is that news or is that just a statement? Like, I feel like that's like just a poster that's up in nuclear plants. Like, hey, friendly reminder on your lunch break, Steve. Like, you know.
Friendly? Oh my God. A little friendly reminder. Nuclear explosion would be a disaster right now. This is a good one. We were talking about this one today. Somebody, think of a headline, 56 points bold headline. That's the little placeholder for the newspaper. And they fucking just left it in. I mean, how fucking...
It just ran like...
They just ran it like that. Like, how fucking stupid is that?
You know what I found interesting is that my mind read headline and then looked up at the picture and realized that there's no heads on the picture.
Yeah. And there's no headline. There's no heads and no headline.
For there to be two headlines in the headline of a non-headline.
The World Bank says poor need more money. Like, I just want to meet. I want to meet the asshole that was like, we're a bank, and I just want to go on record and say that the poor need more money. Like, what?
Yo, that was in 2009. That was like right after the crash and all that.
Yeah, but of course they're poor. Bro. They're poor. They need more money. Jesus.
That's amazing.
This one's better.
The poor need more money.
Bugs flying around with wings are flying bugs.
This motherfucker missed a couple episodes of Bill and I, the Science Guy. That's all I'm saying.
He was actually listening to our last episode, and he was probably microdosing while he was freaking making this article. Flying bugs are flying bugs. I mean, Jesus. One-armed man applauds the kindness of strangers.
Ooh.
Well, I'm not. Look,
okay. So I have a story. This triggers a story that I have to tell you. That's
God.
I'm not proud of it. Okay, so look, I obviously have to deal with a lot of manager phone calls at the store. I get a phone call from this client. He's super upset because his fridge is fucked up, and I'm not going to go into the story about why or how long or any of that stuff, but I have to deal with it. And this guy goes down this tirade of telling me who he is and the fact that he is a 6 foot tall man who, you know, could beat my ass and all this extra stuff because I'm not giving him what he wants. And then he tells me that he would do it from the chair because he has no legs.
What?
Yes. So I swear this is all real. What? And he's going off on me, bro, because he's just not understanding what I'm trying to communicate back. And so finally, I get him to hear where I'm coming from. He calms down, starts talking to me like a normal person. Well, now I get into the conversation. I'm kind of back in selling mode. Bro, I said like probably 3 or 4 times before I realized what I was saying to this man. He has no legs. And it is just common in my lingo to talk to a customer and say, yeah, as soon as you walk in the building, I'm gonna get you taken care of.
Oh, man.
So I told this man with no legs like 4 times on the phone, like, yeah, no, I promise you, as soon as you walk in the door. And he stopped me and he said, but I'm never gonna be able to walk into the building. And I was like, I felt so bad, bro. I felt so bad.
Wow.
And this fucking article reminded me of that. And so, yeah, the man rolled up on me, and he was actually a totally nice dude.
Wow. All that. Thank you for that story.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I needed to get that off my chest. I felt like the demons were still haunting me.
This is a particular good one here. Tiger Woods plays with his own balls. Nike says this.
Oh, no, you know what I like? Is it the word with his? Like his isn't in the sentence, which means they looked at this and they was like, no, we should take the word his out and people will know what we're trying to say.
That's what happened here. That's what happened here. Yeah, take that word out completely. It will totally change the whole feel of the sentence. Holy.
Oh, man.
Well, thankfully, man arrested for everything. Like, you don't have to worry about shit else, Josh, because there's already been a guy arrested for every single thing that's happened. So you're good.
I'm glad my tax dollars are paying for this type of amazing service. Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Is this a newspaper or a dictionary?
Bridges help people cross rivers. I mean, are you kidding me right now? Oh, man.
I wish we could read out that last name because I would love to. It looks like Michelle D. Gibber. I would love to look this person up and see what they're doing with their life right now at this moment.
Where are they right now? I want to know. I'm going to have to find some way to blow this up just so we can figure this out.
Oh, shit. That would be good.
This, of course, is one of your favorites. Girls' school still offering something special. Head.
Not by her, I hope.
I don't even know. Like, her picture's there. So I don't know if she's like what she's trying to do there. But man, it's definitely oh my god.
No. What's her last name? Look at the name under the pictures. It looks like it says Vicky Fuck.
What? No, I don't.
Look right under. Oh.
I don't think that.
You saw it. You saw it.
It said Lauren something.
No, you got to look under the picture. You got to go back.
Oh,
it's worth.
That's not. I don't think that's what that says. You're trying to tell me
right beneath the picture.
I see.
Right beneath the picture.
I see. You're telling me that says Vicky Fuck.
It looks like it to me. What does it say? Vicky Tuck?
I don't even know if it says Vicky. I can't see it that well.
100% says Vicky. Case closed.
Wow. This is my personal favorite. Mississippi's literacy program shows improvement. Look how they spelled Mississippi.
Mississippi's. That's how people say it. Mississippi's.
Mississippi's. This is. I think you know why this is one of my personal favorites.
Oh, 100% because you felt like I wrote that headline.
I'm like, I was trying to see if it says like one of your great ancestors, Setterfield at the bottom, but I didn't see it. This is good. Northfield plants to plan strategic plan. Like nobody edited this guy's column and said, "Don't you think like there's not that many words in that headline? You've used the word plan 3 times already."
There's just plan is in the headline just as many times as other words are used.
Yeah, other words. It's equal ratio. You think that's how he explained it? You know, like to his editor, and her editor's like, you know what? Fuck, that makes sense. You know.
I'm kind of cruising through the typing beneath it because I wanted to see how many times it says plan in there. The strategic plan differs from a comprehensive plan because it targets specific areas of growth instead of only physical development. Plan is not dependent on time, while a comprehensive plan, it's one hell of a plan. I tell you what.
That's a lot of plan. Somebody definitely should probably be fired for this one. This is. This one says rape. Now, I'm not laughing about rape. I just want to go on the record and say that that's not funny. So I'm not. Please refer back to our disclaimer that we showed at the beginning of the show. I'm not saying.
Show them again, just in case they weren't here for it.
I don't think I can.
I do this headline. What can I say, man? I feel like it was a little forced.
Rooms with broken air conditioners are hot. No fucking shit. I mean, this guy. I don't understand.
I wonder his source of information.
State
like
population.
I can see him sitting there trying to write the column, and he licks his finger and sticks it up in the air, and he's like, "Yep, just as I suspected."
Wow. This was great. State population to double by 2040, and the babies are to blame. Well, no shit. It's gonna be the babies that. You know what I mean.
That's pretty good. That's a good one.
This is one because you're a space cadet. Greenland meteorite may be from space.
World in brief. I question everything you've ever written now.
I mean, aren't meteorites from space?
Yes. It may have come from outside our solar system.
Did you know that most earthquake damage is caused by shaking? Like, who's the fucking genius that wrote this one?
That looks like it's printed on something too, like a cardboard box.
A cardboard box?
Yeah, because whoever wrote that shit got fired, and that's where they're living.
A woman in a sumo wrestler suit assaulted her ex-girlfriend in a gay pub after she waved at a man dressed as a Snickers bar. Like, this is... Forget about the part that there was a dude there that's dressed as a Snickers bar, but this has got to be there should be no further explanation needed. Like, there shouldn't be a story under this headline, because basically they already told you everything that happened.
I like how much of the page that headline takes up.
Oh my god, it's a half page.
That was pretty fantastic, man. These some of these people, it really makes me question. I'd love to keep bashing on them, but then I think about how we spent like 10 hours getting set up for today, and then the first commercial didn't work. And it's because the babies are to blame.
Oh my god. I mean, wow. It feels bad is what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, it's got me.
It feels pretty atrocious.
It's got me down there because there's lots of reasons why. One of them is because I didn't do it. So, like, I feel like, oh man, this is hurtful. I'm hurt.
Yeah, I'm glad that my stuff has only been printed like a few dozen times and not like thousands of copies.
Oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm just kidding.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
Oh shit. Dude, well that was pretty good, man. I think we talked about a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, we've learned that Jake gets the heebie-jeebies and is scared of Casper, the friendly ghost.
First of all, that is not what we learned.
But
you already...
No, we learned that we are going to October and that I am scared of Casper, and I don't want to be confronted with the reality that there could be this other side. And in October, you have accepted all responsibility of planning a trip for us to go get scared shitless.
Yeah, we're definitely we're going to make that happen.
So, hey, maybe the podcast will have advanced to a place to where we could actually take cameras with us and film it and actually bring the content back to our viewers. How cool would that be?
Well, you know we probably can do that, right?
That'd be fantastic.
Oh my God, are you telling me we're gonna film? We're gonna go to the haunted place for real and film it, and then we're gonna come back and show people what happened.
We're gonna fucking clarify to the world for sure with our scientific video evidence.
So, but it, like,
shit was haunted or not.
If we go, and let's just say, for instance, like I'm the one holding the camera. Like if I'm holding the camera and we go, and you're on camera, like in the fetal position, crying because you're so scared, like, or can we still show the footage?
It's a very good thing that I will edit the video, so it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, that's great. Oh my God.
Yeah, it'll be good.
All right, man.
It'll be a good time.
I think it's been a good show for the second show. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is a ton of fun, man. I can't wait to do episode 3.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for everybody tuning in.
You've been listening to You've Been Warned with Jake and Josh. Catch us streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Make sure to tune in next time. Or don't. You've been warned.